Alberto.
Gracias. Bueno, vamos a hacer esta presentación en inglés, como se anunció. Yeah, and then I will start now. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alberto Cañas. I am the director of ProChile in Shanghai. We are co-organizer of today's webinar, and because ProChile Shanghai has been actively engaged in the e-commerce sector for more than 7 years, working here in China. During this time, we have built a strong partnership with leading e-commerce platform in China and supported a lot of Chilean companies in learning about and successfully conducting business within China's dynamic digital ecosystem. Today, continue or not? Well, start or don't start, Diego?
Yeah. Follow.
Okay, follow. Okay. Today I am especially pleased to have Miss Fiona Weng with us. She is the head of business development for the Americas region from Tmall Global, a company belong to the Alibaba Group. Fiona is our good friend from Alibaba Group and brings extensive experience in helping foreign companies succeed in China's e-commerce market. Then, welcome Fiona with us. And I would also like to thank to my colleague, Diego Rojas from ProChile, who organized today's webinar. I hope you have a wonderful morning and enjoy the session. Thank you very much. It's your time, Diego.
Fiona, can you start?
Sure,
Please.
of course. Hello, everyone. Good morning. And thank you very much, Alberto, to give me the opportunity to be here and introduce the overall e-commerce market in China and how we can help Chilean brands to actually try out China market and probably use Tmall Global as a first step into China market. So I'm the VP of Business Development for Tmall Global for over 7 years now. I've been working with different brands here in the Americas and help them, understand China market and find a way to help them actually launch successfully for China. So hopefully this session and this morning can give you a little bit more detailed information on how to enter China market. And if any questions, always welcome to send me an email and I'll be happy to assist. Okay, I'll just start today's presentation now. So today I'll be mainly cover 3 parts. So I'll be introducing a little bit about the cross-border opportunity for China and then how Tmall Global can help. And then I'll share a few videos that will directly introduce how Tmall Global work. And also I will share a case study so you can have a real information on how a real brand actually launched on Tmall Global. Okay, I'll just start with the cross-border opportunities now. Especially after the pandemic, there are a huge surge of consumer demand within China. So the basically middle class is really growing fast, and those are the base, the consumer base for Tmall Global. So we expect that by the end of 2030, there will be another 68% increase for Chinese middle class. So we do have a great consumer foundation for for Tmall Global, and also for there'll be a great opportunity for overseas brands to actually explore China market at this time. And then a lot of the people from this class, they are ready to shop. They are willing to try, different products from different countries, especially when they may not have the chance to travel around. Tmall Global will be a very great one-stop shop site for them. And there are 10 times growth of cross-border e-commerce in the last 5 years. So when I talk about cross-border e-commerce, that means that you don't actually have to comply with Chinese customs regulations or comply with Chinese FDA regulations, because all your products go into a bonded warehouse in China. So you don't actually need to change the labeling. The products can be shipped as it is. Especially if you don't have any Chinese stickers on to the product, or you don't have anything, any English part, the products can ship as they are. You don't have to do the extra work to actually change the packaging before you consider anything for China market. And also, we can see that there are tremendous growth of the import market, and that keeps driving the consumption in China. So in the from the year 2019 to 2025, the CAGR of consumption channels, we can see a comparison chart here, and cross-border e-commerce has increased the most. So I think a lot of the consumers, they trust that the products directly coming from overseas are, either of better quality and have better, quality check, procedures. So they are willing to try out actually real products from overseas countries. And also, there are a huge opportunity for future cross-border e-commerce, as it's only it is only a very small part of the overall consumer import. So cross-border channel, cross-border e-commerce channel is growing fast, but it is still small. So it has a tremendous, increase and also a potential in the future. And also, the overseas spending keeps on shore under the new normal. After the pandemic, there's a huge surge on luxury consumptions, and also people are willing to try out different, tax-free products from our, Hainan district. So everything here shows that the potential is huge. And there are, the e-commerce, the cross-border e-commerce list is always growing. So before, we cannot do, PlayStation with play device and accessories. We cannot do some of the fashion products, but this list is always growing, especially for food and health supplement, categories. So basically, general shelf-stable products are always on the list. For example, we can do wine, we can do coffee, and also shelf-stable snacks, but we cannot do fresh meat. We cannot do, anything, animal related. But now, sometimes we can do fresh, cherries. We can do scallops. So these are also new on the list. And if you want to know whether your products are on the list or not, feel free to reach out to me. So starting from 2021, actually, we are not sharing any Double 11 shopping data to the outside, but I still have the data from 2021. I'm not sure whether anybody heard about the Double 11 Global Shopping Festival. It's the largest shopping festival of the year, and on that single day, there is a $84 billion GMV from that year. So it's been growing very steady in the past 5 years from 2022 to 2025. But it's not as growing as from 2018 to 2021, but it's still growing, and we have that tremendous amount of GMV on that single day because of the discount, the promotions, and also the brand awareness that we have prepared the brands for. So at that time, there were over 235 brands from overseas that surpassed 10 million RMB in GMV, and also overseas brands that reached 1 million RMB. That increase a lot is over 46%, and there are over like 2,800 different brands from all over the world, from 87 countries and regions. So we can see that there's a great, a product base there, and that's why a lot of the consumers will choose Tmall Global as their first step. So because they can find everything there. All right, next part, I will be introducing a little bit about Tmall Global and what is Tmall Global, what we can do, and what we can offer from there. So Alibaba Group, we are I think a complete ecosystem. On there, you can find different units, different areas all in your real life. So under Alibaba Group, actually, you don't actually need to go out of your house. And you can buy everything there. You can buy your everyday necessities. You can buy actually your groceries on there. And of course, you can buy different products from overseas from Tmall Global. And also you can, and they will have a same-day delivery window from local consumer services. And also we offer digital media and entertainment. You can also do all marketing on Tmall Global. And then we also provide different, AI initiated, marketing tools in order for you to know more about your consumers. So that's a complete ecosystem for merchants or for consumers, so they can find everything there. And also, Tmall Global is the preferred choice for consumers and brands, and we are still ranked the #1 cross-border e-commerce channel for China. So you talk about imported goods, Tmall Global will be the first mention and the first stop for a lot of the overseas brands. It's easier to get started because of the cross-border function, and also our onboarding process is straightforward. So once you submit everything, you're ready to go. And I will talk more about how to get started in later. And also we provide a very complete infrastructure for cross-border business. So there are bonded warehouses everywhere. So you can choose which warehouse to actually put your products into and then start to sell. Also, so these are a general picture of what we offer on Tmall Global. So we have more than 29,000 different brands on there, covering 5,800 categories from 87 countries and region. And we are still exploring new products, new categories for the consumers. And we are willing to try out different brands and give our consumers more choices during this time. That's why we are working with different brands here and different merchants here to let them know like the different opportunities that we have to offer. So so it's easier to get access to Tmall Global. So everyone in China has a Taobao app. So that's the most used shopping app in China. And from Taobao, you can always search Tmall Global and go to Tmall Global site easily from there. And we also have a Tmall app that you can directly go and shop from there. So it's easier to find, Tmall Global. And when consumers make a search on a certain product, and if it's sold in Tmall Global, it will automatically appear on the first line to show to the consumers. So these are basically the screenshots from either Taobao app or Tmall. So it has a very clean look and give consumers some choices on where to go. How is Tmall Global different from Tmall? So you may heard about Tmall before. So what's Tmall Global? What's the difference between these two? So Tmall Global is tailored for overseas brands that do not have any legal entities in China. So basically, you don't have any companies, you don't have any personnel, so you have zero base for China market. And also, you don't have any bank account set up in RMB or local bank account in China. Don't worry, you can always start from Tmall Global because we always you launch with your own entity in your own country. For example, for Chile brand, so you can just set up using your Chile company, and also a bank account in your local currency. So we always accept that. So it's easier for overseas brands to get started, and that will be settled in your home currency. And we do not require your brands to be registered in China, though we strongly recommend you to do so as a protection. But as long as you have a home country trademark, we are ready to go. In order to enjoy all that, the products will have to go to a bonded warehouse in China. So that means you don't actually need to clear customs. You are not going to main, China, we call general trade products. So actually, it's just reserved for Tmall Global for cross-border purpose. So you cannot, oh, I want to send part of the inventories to a supermarket in China. That's not possible. Everything is reserved for Tmall Global for cross-border e-commerce channel use only. So you ship your products from your home country to a bonded warehouse in China. So the bonded warehouse are along the coastline of China. So it's basically within, mainland China, but it's part of the cross-border business. So you can always start from there. And for Tmall, so these are just mainly for local Chinese brands or brands that have already started their business in China. Either they have their own companies in China, they hired a team in China. So that's where you can go to Tmall.com. But for Tmall Global, you can always use your home country company's bank accounts, and our logo is purple, and so it's very obvious, and consumers will know that, oh, those products are directly from overseas and they're authentic, new products for them to try out. And then I will move on to consumers on Tmall Global. So who are shopping on our site and what kind of consumer experience that they can get on Tmall Global. So as I mentioned earlier, our main consumer are emerging middle class. So they are willing to try out different products. So our consumer base are out of Taobao, and then we're on top of Tmall as well. So Tmall is mainly for local Chinese brands, and Tmall Global are known for its authentic products from overseas. So we have very specific consumer base that are willing to try different overseas brands, and we have over 100 million AAC, and our consumers that were born after 2000, their consumption increased by 70%, and our consumers that was born after 1995, they account for 30% of our consumption. So our consumers are getting younger, so they are willing to try. And for the ones that are 60 that has already purchased on Tmall Global, 55% will purchase 3 times a year. So they will come back and place more orders, and then 60%, more than 60% consumers spend 10,000 RMB a year on Tmall Global. So they are not just a one-time shopper on Tmall Global, so they will always come back and get more products for themselves. And here are some, subcategories of our consumer base. Yeah, it's very, straightforward. We have, super moms that are willing to buy, maternity and baby products for themselves and for the families, especially for their kids. So they will try all natural, baby care products. They also will shop for, themselves as well to try out different things to make them still look young or beautiful, especially after they become a mom. So they're willing to try for themselves. And also we find that there are more small town young people, so they don't have that much opportunity to actually go around, go to different countries to try out different products, and then they will rely on Tmall Global to offer what they can try for themselves. And also for those elderly consumers in China, so they are more interested in health supplement brands to give them a better life, to enjoy their life better. So these are the main consumers, and they have different reasons actually to shop on Tmall Global, and we do have different strategies for these different categories to help them find what they need and place the order. And also, we can see that there are changes in circumstances when they buy, and what are the new trends that they are looking forward to, especially after pandemic, when they have less global travel, and they have more individual needs that they want to fulfill. So we can see that they are looking for more outdoor, either apparels. They are looking for outdoor, equipments for themselves, and they would also like to enjoy a better life. So whiskey and use rums, and some certain types of liquor are on huge demand for consumers, especially when they would like to try out different things. And also, I want to share some of the consumer experience on Tmall Global. So these are basically the screenshots for when consumers went to search for the products they want. So once they search, and for example, they want to search Nike brand, and then a flagship store will pop up. And then they will go to each product detail page to actually see the product and then place the order. usually an order can be delivered to a consumer within 48 hours window, and sometimes even faster. Even it's out of a bonded warehouse. And then there will always be promotional activities, different category access on Tmall Global. So these are basically how we can play around with the app on Tmall Global. And then what we are known for are high quality product platform. So we can make sure that everything is authentic and everything will be delivered on time to our consumers. And we have a 24-hour consumer service for different for products and for consumers, so they know that they can always reach out to Tmall Global if they have any questions. So the consumer experience on Tmall Global will be good. And how can I, as a brand, to gain my consumers on Tmall Global? So there are different ways that we can attract for different brands for their consumers. So you will, of course, have to build up your brand awareness and know what's going on and what Chinese consumers are looking for. So we help you to find a trend and also provide supply chain and the logistics services to overseas brands as well. So, and we also can give you, our, suggestions on how to get started, what kind of products may sell more, so that you can start with your key items and then to try to start from there. So we can see that different country may have different, high capability products or hot selling items that we can get started. And also we have different IPs and marketing tools or promotional calendar to help brands reach out to their consumers. And also we do offer a live streaming platform for the brands as well. So each brand can have their own live streaming session to actually introduce the brand and help to reach out to your targeted audiences. And these are some of the pictures that's shown during different campaigns and how to catch your target audiences. So last year we are doing promotions or trying our a lot of the energy to actually focus on these 9 categories, and they also have a 100% year-over-year growth. So every year may be different. But last year we are doing a lot of the probiotics under health supplement brands, and we also focus a lot on pets. There are more Chinese consumers are having a pet right now, so they are willing to try very good products for their pets. So pets are a fast-growing categories as well. And outdoors are also a great opportunity for consumers to try out, high authentic and good quality products from overseas. And then we also start to do fresh cherries last year. So which we are doing more products right now under the fresh section. But the cherries are the starting item for Tmall Global. And we can also see a huge demand hair products and also baby items. So these are the 9 categories that we focused on last year. And this year we can see there are more trends on some of the health supplement categories as well. And we can always discuss more on which items to get started. So overall, we help support brands from beginning to the end. will work with brands to build up your awareness to, on social media channels like Little Red Book, to reach out to your target audiences and help them purchase onto Tmall Global. And we have different, marketing tools like Alimama, like Brand Hub. So you can use different marketing tools to have your own, promotional calendar or live streaming session to, reach out to the product, to the consumers and help them purchase the order and then come back and repeat. And we do offer, supply chain from all over the world. But mostly we have different, GFCs from all over the countries. We do have GFCs here in the United States and Canada, but we don't have anything yet. For Chile, I believe we do have a hub in Brazil. But to ship directly from overseas to the consumer will be very costly. So we do suggest brands or merchants to actually ship the products to the bonded warehouse in China in anticipation for future orders and ship directly from the bonded warehouse. All right, so now I will be talking more about the resources for Tmall for brands, how that they can make a first and initial growth. So these are different IP matrix for Tmall Global merchants that they can utilize. We do have different promotional activities each month. So you can utilize all those different marketing activities and to show your product to different consumers. We have a Tmall Global Discovery channel. We have official live streaming room. So that's operated by Tmall Global. So so that has more than a few hundred million consumers followers there. So to introduce your brand, so that also a great opportunity for a brand to be introduced to different consumers. And we have cross-border logistics services that can ship very fast to the consumers. So mostly we focus on the bonded warehouse. So once your products go into the bonded warehouse, the warehouse will be responsible for order picking and delivery. So they will be working with the orders that they received from Tmall Global, and everything will be sent out and arrive to the consumer within 2.5 days. And they can also provide, value-added services if you want to do, gift boxes, if you want to have a temperature-controlled, storage, warehouse, and they will be willing to help over there. And then we have, different ways to help you reduce your costs and improve your efficiency when, operating for Chinese consumers. So we are lowering our insurance premiums for orders, and we provide different, software tools to help you reduce your costs, especially logistics part. And we also will give you a very cost-effective marketing, package. So you can try the marketing package to try different ways to reach out to consumers. And we'll also provide a free business reference, package for the consumers to know your products. And once you launch on Tmall Global, you will have access to the back end. So you have all the data. So what your, consumers are, what are their direct feedbacks on your products, so you can know firsthand information on how to improve in the future. And then lastly, I'll be talking about how to launch onto Tmall Global. So there are basically two business models that we can offer to, Chilean brands. The first is what we call a mini store on Tmall Global. So for Tmall Global, we do run a or operate a store that's directly run by Tmall Global. So we call Tmall Global Store. And we call this program Tmall Direct Import. So you will be actually selling in a Tmall run store for the consumers. So the very good thing about it is that it's a minimal upfront investment for the brands to get started. However, since your products are selling with all the other, more than 10,000 different SKUs in a Tmall run store, so consumers may not get to know your brand that well or have that much presence among all the other brands. So the sales volume may not be that great, especially if you don't have any additional marketing funds for that program. So that's why most of the emerging brands or small and medium brands will choose to open a flagship store that's on the right hand side. So you do have your own store or virtual storefront, and you work with a third party partner team to run actually the store, to reach out to your consumers, to build up your brand awareness, so that you can do your own brand marketing. As it's a very great opportunity for emerging overseas brands to actually build your brand and actually see the growth in China market. So most of the brands will choose to start a flagship store on Tmall Global as a starting point. For mini store model, it's on consignment base. So basically, you just ship your product to a bonded warehouse in China and launch your mini store on a Tmall store. And then Tmall Global will take care of the rest. Once the consumers place the order, we will, process the order and ship the products directly to the consumers. And then we will charge a commission out of the sales, and then you will be paid for all the items sold within a payment cycle. It's usually a month. So within this month, if you sell 100 products, we will be settle these 100 100 products with you. So it's on consignment model. You are not paid for all the inventories you ship to the warehouse. So that's easier way to get started. If you don't see that you can have additional upfront investment yet, so you can choose this route. But mostly that will be the flagship store model that you will have to build up and grow your business by selling to over 900 million Chinese consumers. And you don't need to worry because you will be working with a third party, Tmall partner team that we call TP. So once you set up the store and then process the order, your partner team will help you work with the warehouse to process the order and then get paid for all that sold to your bank account. So you will be willing to actually do your brand building and to help you know what your consumers are. So you have your back end and see all the data there. That's not available for mini store model because you are selling a Tmall store. So when we cannot, you will not know specifically what your consumer bases are. But for your own flagship store, you can have a back end and see who your consumers are, what their shopping trends, and you can and what their feedbacks to your product, so you can actually adjust or your formulas or adjust your product portfolio to actually be more successful in China market. And in order to launch a store on Tmall Global is normally 30-day, cycle. So you can actually have a store within 30 days. So the very time consuming part is actually find a partner team. So once you have your partner team ready and sign an agreement with, you can have the store launched within 30 days. So in order to find a Tmall partner, we can send you a few, candidates. So you can actually interview them, have them, do a basic market research to let you know like what your main competitors are, what are the sales projects for you in the next, 1, 2, or 3 years. And you can also have them give you recommendations on what product portfolios that you can start with. So, so before you start, you can have a better idea on what to do, or have a better estimate of what your future sales are and what marketing funds you may have to put into your store. And then after that, once you find your partner team, the partner will help you, start the store application process, which take about 30 days. And then they will also work with our logistics part, Tmall, to work on to ship your products from your overseas warehouse to the bonded warehouse, and also work with Tmall to actually process the order and ship to the consumer. And then they will also be your marketing partner to help you carry out any promotional activities. And these are the, the cost and fees to get started on Tmall Global. So we will charge a one-time security deposit that will be refunded back to you. And most categories, I would say 90% of the categories will charge a 50,000 RMB. So that's about, 7,000 US dollar as a security deposit that will be refunded if you want to withdraw from the platform. And we charge an annual fee of 30,000 RMB. So it's about 4,000 or 5,000. That's annually, accumulated that cannot be refunded. But we do have a rebate program that if you reach a certain sales amount, part of the annual fee will be refunded back to you. And we'll charge a commission. So most of the categories will be 3 to 4%, and also plus a 1% Alipay account. So Alipay is the one that will be linked to your bank account. So you receive money into your Alipay and then withdraw the money from Alipay to your overseas bank account in your home currency. And then TP service, marketing, and logistics will be additional. Marketing are optional whether you want to do that or not, but we do recommend to put in certain marketing fund in order to be successful. So logistics, I think that will be roughly like 6 to 8% of your sales as a cost. And TP, they do charge different fees for their services. So if you talk to your partner team candidates, you can have a better idea of what they charge. Okay, so here are our logistics solutions, Tmall. So once your products get into the bonded warehouse, and Tmall also provide first leg services as well, so they can pick up your inventories from your overseas warehouse and put them into a bonded warehouse, and then they will be processing the order and also, deliver the products to your end consumer. And then Alipay is the one that you will be working with closely, as well as all the money, all the funds will be going into your Alipay account. And then you can withdraw from Alipay anytime you want. And that's linked to your local bank account. All right. Lastly, I want to share a few, videos that can have more information on what actually Tmall Global looks like and how consumers shop on Tmall Global. So the first one is how, consumers shop for their cross-border products.
How do you shop for products from brands that are not available locally? It usually involves navigating confusing foreign websites and waiting for months for your order to arrive. or hang on until your next trip abroad. In China, consumers have an insatiable demand for high-quality products from overseas. That's why cross-border e-commerce has become its own shopping channel. All consumers have to do is to go to cross-border e-commerce platforms where they'll find a smorgasbord of international products, all in one place. How does that work? I'm Alizila's Fiona Weng. Let me take you inside the world of China's online shopping. Think of cross-border shopping as browsing the world's shelves. Enter Tmall Global, Alibaba's destination for 29,000 international brands. Besides the fun of discovering new products and easily adding them to your shopping cart, Tmall Global can deliver these products to Chinese consumers fast. How is that possible? Well, many of these international products are already sitting in bonded warehouses across China, where they're ready to clear customs and ship to consumer within days. On Tmall Global, mom, baby, and beauty products are usually the most popular categories in cross-border shopping. But suppose shoppers don't know exactly what they're looking for. In that case, Chinese consumers can discover the latest trends across different categories, from fashion, home decor, and specialty food through Tmall Global's curated experiences. Here, I'm at Tmall Global's Country Pavilion channel, taking a shopping tour around the world, from North America to Europe to Asia, discovering the finest local products. For unique fashion pieces from California, Revolve is my go-to place. Here, I'm browsing a social media feed about a California-style swimwear within Revolve's Tmall Global store. I can purchase the item immediately without leaving this page. I was browsing a consumer's unboxing video when I discovered GHD's hair straighteners from the UK. When I was checking out the new product launch channel called Heybox, I found this, the latest camera from Japan. Sometimes I can take a shopping tour overseas, such as this Japanese vintage luxury shop via live streaming. I can ask the host to show me the pieces I'm interested in without getting on a plane. For whiskey connoisseurs, there is even a dedicated channel to learn about Japanese whiskey culture. You do not have to wait until your next trip to Japan. You can have your drink of choice shipped to you within a few days. With abundant selections and timely delivery, Alibaba's Tmall Global is bringing a world of goods to Chinese consumers at home.
All right. So next one is how to plan the store launch on Tmall Global.
Are you ready to expand your business and sell to the world's fastest growing consumer market? As Chinese consumers' unparalleled demand for imported goods is on the rise, more than 29,000 international brands have already discovered the best way to break into the China market by joining Alibaba's leading cross-border marketplace, Tmall Global. But before you launch your store on Tmall Global, you need to have a plan. The first thing to consider is, what does your brand want to achieve in the first year of selling to China? Sales or brand recognition? Not that you can't have both, but a newcomer with zero to low brand visibility might consider setting brand reputation as its top priority. More established brands can take advantage of Tmall Global's integrated sales and marketing tools to optimize promotions, fine-tune pricing strategies, and to introduce new SKUs to the market. Next on the agenda should be establishing a budget. Though financial investment for a China foray is determined case by case, planning out an annual budget based on the brand's target sales is a great place to start. New brands might aim to break even in the first 24 months, while more established brands would anticipate an increase in profit. Factors such as operating in a highly competitive category and social marketing on other platforms will require an additional investment. It might come as a surprise, but it is not uncommon for brands to spend more on social marketing than online operations on Tmall Global. Direct-to-consumer marketing has become a pivotal retail channel for many brands, a reflection of Chinese consumers' digital fluency and diligence in researching new products and brands. Understanding the mindset and preferences of Chinese consumers is key to success, and Tmall Global recommends that overseas merchants work with a professional service company based in China when they first enter the market. These third-party vendors, or TPs, manage day-to-day operations, taking care of everything, including digital marketing and design, web store analytics, IT maintenance, logistics, and real-time customer service. With an experienced vendor handling all of the groundwork, brands can focus on the big picture and adjust their China strategy in response to new patterns of consumption. Now that you know where to start, we're ready to delve into the next phase of development for your e-commerce expansion in China. Stay tuned for the next episode as we share more tips and know-hows to operating your very first store on Tmall Global.
All right, next will be the very great part is how to find the local right partner.
Tmall Global is China's biggest B2C cross-border platform and the best point of entry for any brands that wants to break into the fastest growing consumer market in the world. But the Chinese market can be baffling to foreigners who are unfamiliar with the culture, and working with the local third-party service provider can be the key to success. These third-party vendors, or TPs, can provide valuable insights into consumer behavior, online store management, legal compliance, and how to cut through red tape. For brands that would like to form a partnership with the TP, there are a few proven models to choose from. In the commission-based model, TPs operate the Tmall Global store on behalf of the brand and are responsible for daily operations, including IT infrastructure, customer service, online marketing, digital designs, and web store analytics. This approach allows brands to leverage the TP's knowledge and maintain more control over inventory and how the brand is marketed in China. Other brands might opt for the buy-sell model, where an authorized distributor of the brand buys inventory and opens a brand flagship store on Tmall Global. The distributor can either manage the store or work with a TP who will operate the store on their behalf. Brands that choose this model don't risk inventory loss, although the distributor decides on how the product is sold in the market. In any case, Tmall Global strongly encourages the brand to be closely involved in the strategic planning of their cross-border e-commerce business and how brands connect with qualified service providers by providing a list of verified, highly rated TPs on the platform. Although opening a Tmall Global store can be challenging for brands that lack local resources, the right Tmall Global partner can help small and medium-sized brands develop and execute an informed and effective rollout in China. In the next episode of Tmall Global Learner Series, we will share more insights into important performance metrics that businesses should watch out for during early stages of their China foray. So stay tuned.
All right, lastly, this is a showcase about a brand Novomel and like let you know how they actually start on Tmall Global.
O mel é produto saboroso, bonito, limpo e que traz muitos benefícios para a saúde humana. O mel brasileiro é mel muito especial devido à nossa flora, que é muito diversificada. Eu fundei a Novo Mel depois que terminei meu doutorado. Era o que eu gostava e sabia fazer. Produção de mel, qualidade de mel, e assim foi. Do ponto de vista do mel da Novo Mel, é um mel brasileiro que tem toda a qualidade possível, com mínima interferência durante a industrialização.
O nosso foco era vender o melhor mel de qualidade brasileiro e o melhor própolis. Tudo começou lá na década de 80. Minha mãe leu um livro chamado Sugar Blues e resolveu tirar o açúcar da nossa dieta. E a gente virou um campo de experimentação, né? Tudo feito com mel. Mas, como ela não encontrava mel de qualidade para comprar, então ela resolveu fazer um curso de apicultura e a gente começou a criar abelhas. Nós temos que entender que os produtos da abelha são muito ricos, né? Entre eles, os principais é o mel, que é o alimento energético da abelha. O segundo produto, que é muito importante, é a própolis. A própolis, ela é originada da resina das plantas, ela é antioxidante, cicatrizante. Na Europa, nos Estados Unidos, a própolis é feita de poplar, um tipo de pinheiro. Enquanto que no Brasil ela é feita da mata nativa e tem várias propriedades diferenciadas. Hoje a Novo Mel trabalha com mel rastreado. Então, todas as exportações que realizamos, ela tem um QR Code que vai indicar o município onde foi produzido o mel, fotos do apicultor ou do local de algum apiário, e também explicando a qualidade do mel, como foi processado e também aonde foi processado aqui na fábrica da Novo Mel. A parceria do Tmall Alibaba conosco é muito importante porque abriu as portas da China para um produto que a gente não conseguia vender, mesmo estando há muito tempo na China. A Tmall Global é uma plataforma de vendas B2C. A gente consegue atender o consumidor final com o produto da Novo Mel direto para o chinês. Isso dá uma garantia que a qualidade do produto é excelente. Por ter esse crivo de escolha do fornecedor. E isso gera confiança entre a empresa que está aqui no Brasil e o consumidor final que está lá na China. A plataforma Tmall Alibaba, ela simplifica a estratégia e ela pode ser a primeira lança de entrada em um país. Por quê? Porque se você for fisicamente, você tem que viajar, desenvolver mercados, visitar cidades. E com o Alibaba, você tem a atuação no mercado total e ainda mais, você ainda consegue informações sobre o cliente final, sobre o feedback de seus produtos e o feedback das suas ações de marketing. E se eu fosse fazer uma estratégia para entrar na China, eu faria através da plataforma Tmall Alibaba. Eu vejo que isso facilita muito a entrada no mercado de 1,5 bilhões de pessoas. Um dos nossos projetos sustentáveis de produção agrícola é incluir as abelhas dentro das fazendas de café, laranja e soja, porque a gente ensina o fazendeiro a usar as abelhas e traz um mercado novo para os apicultores colocarem no meio da fazenda. E isso é altamente sustentável e social, porque os apicultores vão ter uma nova renda e os fazendeiros vão ter um investimento em sustentabilidade, mas com retorno financeiro. Além de tudo, o impacto ambiental é muito pequeno, porque as abelhas elas são muito sustentáveis. Então, você aumenta a produtividade sem aumentar a pegada de carbono. Então, por tonelada produzida, você consegue reduzir a produção de gases de efeito estufa. Meu objetivo é crescer o mercado exponencialmente da própolis do mel brasileiro, da Novo Mel, através da Tmall. Eu acho que ela vai ser a principal fonte de crescimento da Novo Mel para os próximos 10 anos. Não tenho dúvida disso.
All right, that's the end of my presentation for today. Thank you very much for having me here. If any questions, feel free to reach out to my email. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fiona, for your excellent presentation. We hope to have you in Chile very soon.
Yeah.
Any question from the guest? ¿Alguien que tenga alguna duda, pregunta, consulta? Puede escribir en el chat de preguntas y respuestas. Alberto, por mientras, si tienes algo que decirle a Fiona, mientras esperamos que haya preguntas.
Thank you very much, Fiona. Wonderful your presentation about the company and about the procedure and opportunities for the foreign companies to go into the China market. Then, of course, after that, we will continue working in that. With your presentation, we learn a lot about which is the procedure, which is the way in which for go to work together with Tmall Global for go into the China market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very glad to help. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know if we have some question or not. No question. Okay,
No.
but yeah, I think it's very important because we already record the PPT and the videos, and you can distribute or you can show to the companies in Chile, Diego.
Sure, we have a YouTube channel and mailing and
Yes,
social media, something like
yes, and any question related with that, we can contact to Fiona again.
Okay, okay.
And of course, we had to organize something and invite Fiona to Chile.
Yeah.
This is the next step.
Yeah, thank you.
Once again,
Happy
once
to.
again, thank you very much, Fiona, for your time.
Yeah.
See you
because
soon.
she's in America, and this way it's easy to go to Chile from there. Just one night. Just one
Yeah.
night
Yeah, right.
flight.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, very looking forward to.
Yeah. Okay, for my side, for our side, I don't know, maybe Marisol had to do some comment or something?
No, I just want to thank you, Fiona. Thank you again for your very good presentation.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, for our
Thank
side,
you. Yeah.
for our side, we're ready. It's ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thank you.
Mhm. Bye.
Chao, chao.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Chao, chao.
Yeah. Diego, conectémonos por el lado.